The foundation for good psychic health is really a healthy mind and body. That's the baseline. So being well rested, well fed, well balanced in all areas. All of this is going to ensure a healthy psychic firewall. And I'm just taking a quick paragraph from this book, which is a really good go-to, Psychic Protection by William Bloom. And he is saying here, remember that your sensitivity to atmospheres and energies anchors down through your nervous system. If your nervous system is physically exhausted, then you can be easily overwhelmed by changes in your energy field, which would normally cause no tension or difficulty at all. So he's just saying you know it's best to be coming from a position of being well balanced, all round well balanced. Obviously, we fluctuate. We have times of stress or illness or unhappiness. Sometimes life just takes that turn for us. And in these times, it can make us more vulnerable to external negative energy, which may be directed our way or which just may be around due to the nature of the times that we are going through. So today I am just presenting some tips and tricks really to help in those everyday situations. This is a great baseline book, and it's only small, but really it has everything that it has a really good grounding in everything you would need. And most of what I'm presenting does come from here, but not all. And still the definitive work on psychic protection, I guess, still has to be Dion Fortune's Psychic Self-Defense. And another thing that's important to say really is this is not directed for those in abusive relationships. That's a very serious matter and different, and this is not for those people. So the first and basic technique is the bubble, and I use this a lot. I have done for years, and I call it bubbling up. So the idea is to create a bubble which totally encloses you, so it goes all around, over your head, under your feet, and it has a shell which is permeable. Your energies can go through, and positive energies can go in and out, but it blocks negative energy. And the way to create the bubble is just to spend a few moments when you have some quiet time to just relax and make sure your breathing is just rhythmic and gentle. Make sure you're earthed or grounded, which is one way of doing that is to imagine roots flowing from the soles of your feet into the earth, deep into the earth. And then when you're in that wonderful state, you can just imagine, visualize or sense a bubble completely surrounding you with all those features which I've just mentioned. And take some time to do this. Also, do it fairly regularly because it just adds to that energy. Just practice it regularly because you need that. You can't just suddenly go into a difficult situation and fling up a bubble and expect it to be effective, really. You need to put that practice in before. So the bubble is probably the most basic and probably the most useful to practice. You can fill your bubble with protective signs. You can fill it with different colours depending on the nature of what you're protecting yourself against. Or you can experiment with those things and see what kind of works for you best. But that's it in a nutshell. So the next thing is I'm just going to run through a few ideas, and I believe, I've made copious notes in the past, and I do believe that what I'm going to go through now does come from Dion Fortune, but I can't be absolutely sure. I am fairly sure. So the next one is the glass screen, and this is for people who overwhelm you, but you do have to interact with them. So in that case, you imagine a huge glass screen erected between you and that person or those people, so that they can be seen and heard, but their energy is confined. It's not bombarding you. Your energy is protected from that. So that's for when you do have to interact with a person. And remember that you can use some of these techniques if you know that you're going into a situation where somebody is hostile to you, or you're going into a hostile situation. So that's that one. So the next one we'll look at is the brick wall, and this is for when there are people who disturb you, but you don't necessarily have to interact with them. So you erect that brick wall around them. So it's a case of I can't see you, I can't hear you, you simply don't exist for me. So you're putting that brick wall around them. And again, these kind of exercises do need some practice. They're going to be less effective if you just suddenly decide to use them in a situation, whereas if you have practiced them beforehand, it adds to the energy. There's a cumulative effect, and you'll find that they begin to work quite well for you. The closed circuit. So if you come across someone who is leeching your energy, and this happens a lot, I'm sure you've all come across this, it's upsetting your field. You can feel yourself becoming, that awful sense of a bit lightheaded sometimes, or unbalanced. So place your interlocked fingers over your solar plexus, elbows tight to the sides, and touch your feet together. This ensures that your energy circuit is closed, so nothing goes out and nothing comes in. So that's a really good one for those times when you're with, that person who just seems to drain you. We've all come across that. And there's another one where we're dealing with an oppressive gaze or a manipulative stare. And I'm sure this happens quite a bit, especially in the workplace. It's a type of bullying. In this instance, you would fix your eyes on the space between that person's eyebrows. Don't waver, and certainly don't try to outstare. They will begin to see that they are not having an effect on you. Another one which I have used quite a lot is during meetings or difficult situations where somebody can be quite verbally aggressive, is to fold your arms across your solar plexus. This protects that vulnerable area, and cross your legs at the ankles. Again, this is deflecting psychic energy, and it closes your psychic circuit, your energy circuit. So it's a very good defensive one. And the last one I want to talk about, and I think this will probably appeal to Harry Potter fans, is the Cloak of Invisibility. And I mention it because I have used this way before Harry Potter, I might add, but in a situation where I did not want to be noticed. It was in a room sort of full of people, and there was one particular person I just did not want to see me, and it was quite likely that they were going to see me. So very suddenly, and on the spur of the moment, I hadn't practiced this beforehand, I imagined a cloak of invisibility completely covering me. So it went over my head. It was a big hood. It went over my head and completely enveloped me, and I wasn't noticed by that person. So I found that was a good one to use as well. Of course, I very much doubt whether, had I been the only one in the room, that would have worked, but it's a good one to have in the tool bag, shall we say. And just as a final word, and it sort of ties in with happy, healthy body, mind, and all of that sort of thing, is humour and having fun, really. It's so important to have that in your life. And this is a book that I've had for many years. It was first published in 1981, and it's about one of our dear characters from those times, and probably the 1960s onwards, really. He was a TV presenter, among other things, and he was just a wonderful character. He was also very clairvoyant, and his family had always been involved in psychic work, mediumship, that sort of thing. And there's a wonderful quote from this book, from The Door-Marked Summer. There's two books in this one, from The Door-Marked Summer, and I so agree, and I think it's so important, the power of mirth. And here he says, evil or negative forces abhor the sound of genuine laughter, that deep belly laugh that shakes the solar plexus and rids the soul of darkness. Hatred dissolves instantly. And I think that's so very true. Also, it ties into sort of more into deeper or more advanced kind of psychic techniques, which I may go into another time. Blessings all.